Have you heard about the TikTok trend Fibermaxxing? It is making fiber seem almost as sexy of a nutrient as protein, and we're here for it. That said, what exactly is Fibermaxxing and is it safe?
In today's episode, we break it down for you by telling you the best way to approach Fibermaxxing as well as what to avoid so it doesn't go wrong. Let's dive in.
Okay, Carolyn, I don't know if you know this about me. Fiber used to be one of my favorite nutrients. I used to love to talk about fiber. I used to love to write about fiber. I definitely went through a period when I was at Eating Well magazine where I was like deep into all the benefits of fiber.
I did know that kind of, you've said that before. I feel like you had fiber, I had vitamin D.
Yes. So I'm kind of excited that they gave it this sexy name called Fibermaxxing.
I know.
Like, that sounds really awesome. I'm like, Fibermaxxing, what is that? I want that. Just like sleep maxing. What is that? I want that too.
Because as dietitians, we'd love to do an episode just on fiber, but that's boring.
Yeah, but no, we're going to talk about Fibermaxxing. What is it? Where did this name come from?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Is it safe?
I mean, how many times do you have to go to the bathroom when you Fibermax? Just asking for a friend.
Well, and I love that fiber has always been very trendy in our world, but I love that fiber has become
like dietitians.
Trendy to consumers. You know, I mean, if you think about it,
it's true.
Protein's still, I feel like, the top one.
I mean, protein is very sexy. It's kind of hard to make fiber sexy, but somehow it's happening.
Yeah. In fact, I can't remember if I told you this or not. Story of my life, but I saw a post on Instagram yesterday, and it said, I feel so much pressure in my perimenopausal years to eat so much protein. I never felt this much pressure.
Oh.
What am I trying to say?
Yes.
It said,
it was something like you felt more peer pressure in perimenopause to eat protein and do something else than you did to drink when you were a teenager.
Oh, I saw one that was like to do drugs when you were a teenager, because that's when you had all the don't do drugs and the frying pan and everything.
Oh, that's right.
No.
Yeah. The DARE program.
The amount of pressure I feel to eat huge amounts of protein is so much greater than the peer pressure I felt to do drugs growing up.
Yeah. So obviously there's multiple versions of that circulating around on Instagram, because I saw one about drinking as a teen.
Yes.
But protein is definitely still sexy. But fiber and Fibermaxxing, I mean, it is definitely working its way up the ladder here, friends.
Well, and it's always, dietitians always love to talk fiber, but we went to a conference, in a big national nutrition conference in October. And, you walk away and you're like, okay, here are the main 3 or 4 trends that we saw just like everywhere at this conference, and fiber was one of them. And adding fiber to things, essentially kind of a form of Fibermaxxing, was one of the top trends we took away. So Fibermaxxing. So technically this is not an official term, like medical term or anything like that. It is a term that has come from TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 6, 7, nothing official, but everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. Which, speaking of 6, 7, another thing I saw on social media yesterday said all these kids talking about 6, 7, wait till they learn about 8, 5. Like 8 to 5.
Oh, yeah, 8 to 5. I saw that too. Wait till they learn about 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. Yeah.
So, okay, enough with my social media sightings yesterday.
You're derailing us from Fibermaxxing. All right, so Fibermaxxing came from TikTok.
Yes, it refers to essentially meeting or exceeding your daily fiber intake recommendations through food or food and supplements. And so if you're not meeting your daily recommendation, which most people are not, spoiler alert, then it refers to kind of intentionally increasing fiber to meet or exceed your daily recommendations.
I like it.
I do too, I think. I think it's overall a good thing. It could go wrong, and we're going to talk about how it could go wrong.
Sometimes. It definitely can.
Yeah, so this isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because the majority of people and I'm going to include us in it as well, unless you make
Speak
a point.
for yourself.
Unless you make a concerted point to really get those high fiber foods in your diet at every meal and every snack, it is hard to meet your requirements. So the daily recommendation in general is 25 grams for women, 38 for men. Daily value that you see on like food labels is 28 grams. So we'll just say 28 grams. Just have one number to go with. But what most Americans consume, research suggests that the average daily intake for Americans is 10 to 15 grams. In my opinion, 15 seems high even.
I mean, I just looked at this bar that I just snacked on and before we started recording, and it had 3 grams.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good for a bar.
I mean, that seems decent for a bar, but I'm like, ooh, man, that's a lot. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of fiber, and like that's a lot of bars that one might have to eat to get up to 15 grams.
That's what I'm saying. When I do track my diet and I think I'm eating healthy overall, I'm like, ooh, I need to make a concerted effort to choose those higher fiber foods at every meal in order to hit this. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some of those higher fiber foods. Like, what are some slam dunk ways to really pump up the fiber?
Yeah, go-tos. So why do we want to get fiber or aim for around 28 grams of fiber? Well, improve digestion.
I mean, that is very important.
Yeah. Keep things regular and moving.
Yep.
You know how I used to explain it to my 101 students, my Nutrition 101 students?
I can't wait to hear this.
I would tell them, like, that fiber, particularly insoluble fiber, but fiber adds bulk to your waste product. And by doing that, it keeps things moving. It stimulates your GI tract to keep things moving and moving them on out of your body. And I said it's kind of like your kitchen trash. You know, the more you want to have kind of trash build up in there because that's ultimately going to make you take the trash out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, it's going to start smelling, whatever. It's going to keep things moving. That's kind of what fiber is. You want to keep, building up your trash in your digestive system or your fiber, and because it's going to stimulate things to keep moving and getting them on out of there.
Yes. Which is very important. Moving on out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it also moderates your blood glucose response.
Mm-hmm. It's very important for that.
Certain fibers act as prebiotics or food for your gut bacteria. So it keeps them nice and healthy, and then they can ferment things and produce short-chain fatty acids, which are beneficial, and lots of things like that.
Yeah, it serves as the food to all of those microbes in your GI tract, and it makes them very, very happy. And it also helps when you keep them, the good ones, happy, it helps keep the bad ones out.
Yes, thank you. It lowers cholesterol. That's specifically mainly soluble fiber. And just so people know, we're going to talk about foods, but in general, you'll see certain foods like that may be labeled insoluble, a source of insoluble or a source of soluble. But just in general, what I've found is that if you have a food that's naturally high in fiber, usually it's got a mix of soluble and insoluble.
Yes.
One may be high, one's going to be a little higher than the other, and that's how they get labeled or categorized. But in general, you're getting usually a mix.
Yeah.
Satiety and fullness. In fact, and still see some in the past, dietitians might have recommended it for weight loss or to help, choose higher fiber foods so you stay full longer, that kind of thing. And a part of me wondered if that's where Fibermaxxing stemmed from a little bit, just because GLP-1s have been so big. And I've seen some stuff that, natural ways to stimulate GLP-1 in your gut. It was more fiber.
Oh.
So I kind of wondered if I didn't see anything when I looked into Fibermaxxing about that, but
Well, I do know people have told me who are on GLP-1s that it does impact their digestion. Like it slows it down. And so they get a little bit more focused on fiber. So I wonder if that that is also partly where this concept of, or this renewed interest in fiber is stemming from.
Yeah. It's also associated with decreased risk for lots of chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, cancers, particularly colon cancer. And because most of your influencers on TikTok are younger, it also made me wonder, they've seen increases in colon cancer in your younger generations.
Good point.
So maybe you wonder if that's where a little bit of the Fibermaxxing was stemming from. So, and like around 28 grams, they say, I saw 28 to 30 grams is really what you need for good health. I have seen stuff that if you go beyond 30, you get even greater benefits. You don't want to go too far, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, just hitting 28 each day would be great.
I think that is a very appropriate goal, especially considering that we're barely even or not even getting halfway there, depending on how much we're eating.
Yeah. Okay, so where you can get into trouble with Fibermaxxing? Well, first, increasing too quickly.
Yeah, the name of the game when it comes to boosting fiber intake is slow and steady, friends.
Yeah.
Slow and steady.
Exactly. Or you're going to have issues. Have you ever heard of a recommendation of how much you should go up, like over a period of time, or how much per day?
No.
I haven't either.
I never have, but I always have just said, like, just take one like high fiber food and add that, and then build it. Because when you start looking at like just looking at like raspberries, for example, okay, so a cup has about 8 grams of fiber in it. That's a lot of fiber to be adding to your system. So would I recommend that you add 2 cups in a day? No.
Yeah. Well, and I think you really have to be careful, like if you are adding it all just from supplements.
Yes, for sure.
A lot of that tends to be like insoluble fiber. And I think you really kind of want more of a mix of that. Okay, so increasing too quickly. So go slow. Not hydrating enough. Because fiber's going to absorb.
Yes, it absorbs
some of the water in your GI tract.
It can pull it into your GI tract so that it can move things along.
Yes.
Right?
And keep things
smooth,
moist, so you aren't constipated. I hate that word.
Nice word choice.
I couldn't think of a better one. But if you aren't hydrating enough and you're eating more fiber, you're not going to have enough water in your GI tract to keep it moist.
Yes, exactly.
So you're going to get constipated.
Yes.
So it can backfire.
Which is kind of interesting when you think about it. If you're aiming to eat more fiber to prevent or reduce constipation, but you don't add in fluids, then you are actually just perpetuating the problem.
Yeah. Great point. I can't believe I used the word moist twice here to talk about constipation.
I'm proud of you.
But whatever.
Better you
I
than
feel
me.
like it gets the picture across to people.
It does.
So not hydrating enough. So as you increase your fiber, you've got to increase your hydration with it. If you have any kind of existing GI condition like irritable bowel syndrome or diverticulitis, Fibermaxxing, fiber still needs to be a part of your diet, but not if it is flaring. If you have a condition that is flaring up right now and you need to work with your healthcare provider on how the best form to get that fiber in, how you should work on increasing fiber. Fibermaxxing, based on a TikTok influencer, is not a good idea, though, if you have an existing gut issue.
Yes.
Yeah. And then and this is more anecdotal. I didn't have a chance to look into it too much, but with your fiber supplements and then some of your fortified foods, those foods where they are adding fiber, and there's a lot of foods where they're adding fiber, but some people have said inulin is a fiber that they a lot of times fortify or add to foods. And I know some people cannot do inulin. It makes them very bloated. A lot of the fibers that they're adding to food tends to be insoluble, which can cause more bloating and cause some GI issues. So just be aware of that if you are adding a lot of those in. And if you have one, if it causes some side effects, look at what the fiber is, specific type of fiber that that supplement or that fortified food is using.
Yeah.
Because it may just be that one your body can't handle.
Yep.
In supplemental form. So,
Yeah, sometimes in very concentrated, isolated forms is where it can be problematic for people. And not for everybody, but for some people.
Yeah. I feel like if you want to play it uber safe, incorporating more higher fiber foods is the best route to go.
I would agree.
Okay, so really quick, let's talk about just some easy ways, easy foods that people probably are already eating
Yeah.
that they may not know are just great, just hits of fiber they can incorporate.
And I think the way that I've always talked about it when I talk about some of these, especially like the high fiber produce, is that we're not here to like shame one piece of produce over another. Like one fruit is not better than the other. One vegetable is not better than the other. It's more like when you are dialed in on increasing your fiber intake, these making choices or adding these in is going to really
some heavy hitters.
Yes, heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but in general, you're right. All produce is going to have some kind of fiber. And if I don't know if people realize, they probably realize this. They're probably like, duh, Carolyn. But you're only going to find fiber in your plant foods.
Right.
So that's why you don't have fiber in like your dairy and your meat and that kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Okay, so here are some kind of heavy-hitting fruit.
Yes. Well, I kind of already I spoiled it with raspberries. But raspberries, and I don't have the numbers for blackberries in front of me right now, but they also are fairly high in fiber. But, I mean, raspberries really knock it out of the park. And, man, it's in a cup, you get 8 grams of fiber. And I just remember when my girls were little, I mean, we had a lot of raspberries in the house.
I went through a raspberry phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of all your berries are good, but it's like your rougher berries or your berries with more little like parts to them.
Yep.
You know,
exactly.
on the outside.
Yep.
Raspberries, blackberries. Yeah. Okay, a pear. I always forget about pears. That's a fruit I overlook.
Same.
But a medium pear has about 5.5 grams of fiber.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, apples do pretty well too. I mean, one apple has about 4.5 grams, but I mean, you can really make a big difference with a pear.
Yeah. Now, this is assuming you eat the skin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part. Yes, you need to eat the skin, which also applies to something which we'll talk about in a minute, like potatoes.
Yeah.
You got to eat the skin if you really want all the fiber.
Yeah. This one surprised me. A medium banana has about 3 grams of fiber.
Yeah. That is impressive.
Same for a medium orange.
Mm-hmm.
And then strawberries, a cup of strawberries has about 3 grams.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But then you look at a cup of strawberries versus a cup of raspberries and you're like, ooh, 3 to 8. This is where the heavy hitter is worthwhile.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some of the heavy-hitting vegetables.
Yes. Okay, so I always think of things like, and we will talk about them, like Brussels sprouts and baked potatoes and carrots as like, because they're just like, there's something about them that just evokes fiber to me. I don't know, but okay. Green peas.
Yeah. 9 grams of fiber per cup.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Green beans are another one. We don't have them on the list right now, but green beans are another one where they are very high in fiber too.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's how I got my kids really hooked on green beans. It's all coming back to me now.
Okay, one of my favorite vegetables, broccoli. A cup has 5 grams.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Brussels sprouts, 4.5 grams per cup. A baked potato, and we're not talking about one of those giant baked potatoes that you get at restaurants. We're just talking about your average medium potato, which is probably going to be like, 6 ounces maybe?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm just
5,
like,
6
it's going to be
ounces?
like, it's going to fit in my
your
hand
palm.
comfortably.
Yeah. So if you eat it with the skin, it's 4 grams of fiber.
Which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I love the skin. Some people don't like it. I love it.
I agree with you. I feel the same way. I think that's really like what makes a potato have like more flavor to it.
Yeah. So corn, a cup of corn's 4 grams. And then like, it's just kind of interesting. Like carrots are great, but a medium one only has about 1.5 grams.
Yeah. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to, it's don't skip the carrot, but you're not getting what with all that chewing, you would feel like you would be getting more fiber.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Another one that's actually a good fiber source is avocado.
That's right. I always forget about that one. Mm-hmm. It is a very good fiber source. Yeah. And I'm going to jump down just a little because technically like beans and legumes are in the vegetable category. Right. They're later on our list. But y'all, your beans like your black beans, 1 cup is 15 grams.
Yeah.
And that's pretty standard across an average for most beans.
Absolutely. The thing about beans, though, is that is one where, well, first of all, a whole cup of beans, you have to really be an avid bean eater to eat a whole cup. That said, I might have eaten a cup at lunch today. But that is one where like you have got to like acclimate your system. You know, you can't just like go hog wild on a can of beans one day and be like, I'm Fibermaxxing. I mean, you can, but don't write in and tell me about your experience because I don't need to know.
Well, but look, a half a cup or even a third of a cup is going to have 5 to 8 grams of fiber.
That's great.
This is why I love to just throw some beans in a soup, no matter what kind of soup I'm cooking.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah. Lentils are also high, which would be expected. One of my favorites is, I don't actually enjoy eating it, to be totally honest, but one of my favorites to remind people of, because I think they forget, is popcorn.
I know. I love surprising people with the fact that it's a whole grain and it's high in fiber.
Yeah. So like 3 cups is 3.5 grams. So it's basically every cup has a little over a gram of fiber in it, and I think about how when you sit down to eat popcorn, when I look at like when my kids eat popcorn, I'm like 2 of them split a bag. Yeah. Like that's some good fiber there.
Well, you think about it too. It does fill you up more than like crackers or something or chips.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Okay, so want to move on to like nuts and grains?
Sure.
Okay, so your whole grains are typically going to be a good source.
Yes.
They're going to vary. Barley, like 1 cup has 6 grams. 1 cup cooked quinoa, a cup has about 5 grams. Oatmeal, a cup cooked is about 4 grams. Brown rice, about 3.5.
Yep.
Typically, if you have a whole wheat slice of bread, it's going to have around 2. Your whole grain breads are going to have around 2 or 3 per slice. So, and then I think it's easy to overlook nuts.
I just don't always think of them as I know they provide fiber, but I just don't always think of them that way. I think of them as in like, these are healthy fats. These, have a little bit of protein. Yes. These are going to like make me, fill me up and whatever. Yeah. And they have so many other fantastic nutrients in them, but they really are a good way to get some fiber.
So almonds, about an ounce of almonds has 3.5 grams.
I mean, and an ounce of almonds is what, like 12 almonds? Something like that. Pistachios.
An ounce is about 3 grams.
Yeah.
Of fiber.
And I think I want to say an ounce is like, I don't even think.
If you can remember
like
this.
28? I was like, is it 20? It's somewhere in the 20 to 30 range of pistachios, something like that.
I used to know all these. Yeah. So sunflower seed kernels, a fourth of a cup is 3 grams of fiber.
I mean, and then if you eat them, the sunflowers with the shells and you chew on some shells, I mean, you're definitely getting some extra roughage.
Jeez Louise.
Not my bag.
Y'all contact Brierley if you do that and have any side effects.
Yeah, not my bag. Yeah. Not my bag. But what is so good too is, and we don't have how much fiber they have in them, but they do also offer fiber, are peanuts. And I love some boiled peanuts.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I do love some boiled peanuts too. Did you have boiled peanuts before you moved down south?
Once. I had them once when a Southern chef did an event, and from the minute I had them, I loved them. Okay. And then I moved down here, and it's like, I'm like, if I go somewhere and they have boiled peanuts, I'm like, I'll take those boiled peanuts. Yep. Just me and the boiled peanuts over here in the corner.
That's what we always, when I was little and we'd be driving to the beach in the summer, like,
oh my gosh,
get boiled peanuts from
yes,
the car.
Get them from like a little gas station. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But there are some Southerners who do look at me funny. They're like, you like boiled peanuts? And I'm like, y'all, this is like a delicacy. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so lots of food choices. I love this last little tip that you have in here, Carolyn, about making snack plates of different combinations of these foods.
Well, that was something somebody else suggested, but yeah, I thought it was a good idea, so I added it to our notes for this episode. But yeah, like talking about adding like chia seeds to smoothies. You're going to have the frozen fruit in the smoothies, and then you add the chia seeds, and or adding like nuts to salad greens, and
like you said, adding beans into a soup. Yeah, there are lots of little ways to pump it up. I went through a phase where I was trying to sneak chia seeds into peanut butter and honey sandwiches with one of my kids.
How'd that go?
I mean, it was okay. It worked, sort of.
I've never been a big chia seed
I am
fan.
not a chia seed fan. You have to kind of almost hide it for me. Or like it not visually, but it has to be in a food where I'm really not going to taste the texture of it.
And don't try to tell me anything with chia seeds in it is a dessert.
Oh, absolutely not. No. This is why we are friends, like as dietitians. Yeah. Because no.
Don't tell me anything with cottage cheese or chia seeds is a dessert.
No. You know what? Frozen bananas?
No.
Whipped up? Nope. Also. Nope. That is not ice cream, friends. It is not. That is called frozen bananas.
That is the biggest lie dietitians have ever told you.
It is so
true. It's ice cream because it's not.
And if you like it, I am not going to shame you for liking it, but I am not going to tell you that is ice cream.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you that's dessert either.
No.
Okay, so Fibermaxxing. I think overall it's a good thing because we could all use a little more fiber.
Yep.
I think what you want to avoid is be careful if you have an existing like GI issue like IBS or something because it could just make it worse. Mm-hmm. Also, like you start reaching like dangerous territory when you get up to like around 50 grams or so, because at a certain point, you can get too much fiber, and fiber can actually start preventing the absorption of certain nutrients.
That makes sense.
Like vitamins and minerals.
Shuttles stuff out of your system.
Because it's just, moving stuff through your GI system and out. And so it binds to some of the vitamins and minerals. Yeah. So you want to be careful there. So, I mean, we could all use more, but let's don't go to an extreme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I do love that fiber's getting a little sexier.
I do too.
Let's ride the coattails of Fibermaxxing. I mean, maybe just...
Fiber's sexy.
The nutrition industry just needs some more TikTok influencers.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what some of them did to cottage cheese.
Good gosh. That was the best rebranding that's ever been done.
Yeah.
It still makes me so mad, though, when I see a cottage cheese recipe.
It makes me so mad when I go to the grocery store and I can't buy cottage cheese because it's sold out because everyone's obsessed with it. But you know what? Good for the cottage cheese industry. So, let's continue to speak praises of fiber and Fibermaxxing.
Okay.
Thank you, Carolyn.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Happy Eating Podcast. I'm Brierley Horton.
And I'm Carolyn Williams. If you liked this week's episode, then don't forget to rate and leave us a review on iTunes. And be sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss a new episode.
We can't wait to have you back at our table next week for a brand new episode. Bye.
The contents discussed in the Happy Eating Podcast, such as advice, studies, text, graphics, images, and other material discussed or presented on the site or podcast, are for informational purposes only. Content is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your mental health professional or other qualified health providers with any questions you may have regarding your condition. Never disregard professional advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on the Happy Eating Podcast.
If you are in crisis or think you may have an emergency, call your doctor or 911 immediately. If you're having suicidal thoughts, call 1-800-273-TALK, that's 8255, to talk to a skilled, trained counselor at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you are located outside the United States, call your local emergency line immediately.